everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Eclectic Reader. So, long time no see. It's been a while since I've made a video. I wanted to talk today about a book that I read recently. It's a science memoir written by Mike Brown, who's an astronomer. I've been wanting to talk about books related to science, not books that deal with astronomy. That's actually quite rare. I tend to read books about wildlife, and particularly the conservation of North American wildlife. So I do have a few books that I will be getting to soon. But today I'm going to be talking about a book about astronomy, and that is How I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming by Mike Brown. So Mike Brown is the scientist who, as the title suggests, is responsible for killing Pluto. Now, to be clear, Pluto still exists. It hasn't disappeared, but it is not considered a planet. Mike Brown killed Pluto because he found other objects, other spherical objects in the Kuiper Belt where Pluto is found that were only slightly smaller than Pluto. And in particular, an object that at the time he called Xena, but which eventually came to be known as Eris. So he finds all of these objects in the Kuiper Belt, and this book is a memoir about his time as a scientist, how he came to look for other planets. It's also about what a planet is. That's like the large question that this book asks. And this is the question that the astronomers at the IAU asked, which led to Pluto being downgraded to a dwarf planet. And a dwarf planet is not a planet, as he talks about. So this is a memoir about how he came to look for planets, how he found other objects in the Kuiper Belt, which really brought into question Pluto's status as a planet, which ultimately led to Pluto being removed as the 9th planet. And now I think an entire generation of students have grown up learning that there are 8 planets in the solar system rather than 9. I'm sure their teachers tell them that in their lifetime Pluto was a planet. It was only in 2006, I think, when Pluto was removed, so it's still there, but it's no longer considered a planet. And this is Mike Brown's story about why that is, all of the various objects he found. What I love about this book is, first of all, the writing. He's a great writer. He has a very unique voice. He also mixes in his own personal life, because during the time that he's looking for these other planets, he gets married, he has a child, and he really applies his love for statistics and science to early childhood development as he tries to map out the hours that his daughter is sleeping every night or not sleeping every night. And it doesn't really distract from this book at all, because I felt like it really helped me get to know him more, get to know the community in which he was doing his research. It got me to learn more about the graduate students who in many ways were indispensable to him finding all of these objects. In some cases, they were the ones who found the objects, and he really does give them credit. And they ended up becoming very prominent astronomers in their own right. I did visit the observatory where Pluto had first been discovered, and the people there felt like, oh, it was just a matter of semantics. But actually, even while Mike Brown wished that Xena, now Eris, would be considered a planet and that there would be 10 planets in the solar system, it became clear to him that it didn't make any sense. That Pluto would be a planet, and then Eris, and then all of these other objects. They had found so many, not just him, but a number of different astronomers had found spherical objects in the Kuiper Belt, and it didn't make sense that Pluto and maybe one other object would be considered a planet. And so he actually, even though he would have loved to be known as a scientist who discovered a new planet, he was actually advocated for getting rid of Pluto as a planet. People feel also very strongly about Pluto. If you ever watch any of his interviews on YouTube, I've been watching some of his interviews, people in the comments get so angry. How dare Mike Brown get rid of Pluto? At the end of the day, he wasn't even at the meeting that voted against Pluto being included. And so I would say, if you're looking for a really engaging science memoir, you can't go wrong with this book. So that is my review of How I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming. I do now want to read more about space, and I have to say, as I said in the beginning, I'm more into biology. If Mike Brown was able to make me interested in his book, that says a lot. I mean, he was able to take such difficult concepts and explain them in layman's terms, and that is so challenging, especially because it's very clear that he's brilliant, and his whole team is brilliant. Highly, highly recommend. Let me know if you have read any science-related books, and I will certainly be talking about more of them in the future. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.